the viewers anyway. Okay, show me this thing. How much was this thing?
Not that cheap.
Holy crap!
How much was it?
I think it was like $70.
No, I don't think it was $70.
It was more than 50.
Really?
It was not cheap.
I thought it was $40.
No, this was one of the ones where you and I were discussing it, and you were like, "Oh, I don't know if it's worth it," but I thought it would be kind of cool to have, just like as a prop. Oh, there's an eyelash stuck in my eye.
Although at this point in time, you can hit me with it as hard as you want in a video.
I mean, that's kind of cool about it. So this is an Assassin's Creed 3 Tomahawk that that I think everyone here is. Oh no, that is mine. Oh. That's for the baby's Power Wheels.
Nice.
The lead acid battery and the power adapter arrived for me, so I'm gonna go home and charge it up. In fact, I meant to charge it up while we were at NCIX today. So guys, welcome to the after party, which is apparently just me randomly sitting here with and there's Diesel. Okay, so we ordered a bunch of crap from ThinkGeek. So this gets a negative review. This is the Assassin's Creed Axe. It's like, it feels like it's just made of like the cheapest, stupidest plastic. Look at this thing. Like, we were expecting it, for the price that you pay for it, to be basically an axe, except dull. And it is not. I mean, the neat thing about it is you could whack someone with it and it would be safe, but... I mean, they didn't even put a real feather on it. It's like a plastic rubber feather. So that's really disappointing. Here, come have a seat. I can pass you stuff. Wow, you're standing in all the new digs. You want to sit with us? People have been asking for you to join us forever.
We might be able to fit 3 people here.
Yeah, we might be able to fit 3 people. Especially now that we have new cushions for our couch.
Yeah, I knew you'd love that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bought that almost for you.
Yeah! Adventure time!
You're welcome to sit with us. Okay, so let's go through all the Elite swag. Okay, so we have a Nyan Cat pillow.
Which is awesome.
That has the worst speaker I think I've ever heard.
Yep. But we could dub over.
Includes 2 AG3 non-replaceable alkaline button cell batteries. You can't even replace the battery. I'm sure you could pick it apart.
I knew you'd be stoked for that. We had a choice between Finn or Jake's, but I was like, yeah.
The real trick is this should go for 10 hours instead of like 3 seconds. Okay, we also got these new pillows for our WAN show couch. So these are authentic NES cartridge pillows. This is Unicorn's Revenge. Where's the other one?
I don't... there. It's right there.
Oh, Lava Jump. Okay, hold on here. Can you hold my laptop for a sec? Okay. I mean, we figured we just needed like some cool swag for the Linus Media Group headquarters, just to get us in sort of the right frame of mind. So basically we used Linus Media Group money to buy a bunch of toys that we can all play with. So here's our Lava Jump cartridge, which of course, before playing, we would dust out and then insert into our NES that we of course have.
The contacts.
Whatever, it can be bad for whatever. Well, it makes the game work, smart guy. Temporarily. Alright, what else we got? Adventure Time sword. So there we go. We got Finn the Human's sword. Complete with, you know, nicks and dings in it. This must have been when the businessmen didn't sharpen up his weapons for him and get him the new shoes and all that. So, you want to show off anything? Oh, what's that?
This is Sting. So we got a Sting letter opener from Lord of the Wow. There's our camera.
Yeah, it's out of focus.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna open it up. So basically, it's in like a super nice looking box, and it's a letter opener, which is a tiny version of Sting, which is like.
How much did we pay for this?
Pretty freaking cool. I don't remember.
It's like, it's ridiculous because I signed off on all this stuff, but I actually had no real idea what was coming in the mail.
You read everything.
I read it, but I didn't remember anything. I was like, I read it at the end of the day and I was tired and I wanted to go home. I was like, basically I gave Slick and Diesel like a ThinkGeek allowance. And I was like, okay, spend this much on ThinkGeek. We need some awesome stuff for like around the office too. Are you really going to use that? I should use that as my unboxing knife from now on.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I told you about that.
We should hardcore sharpen it.
It's like fairly okay, I think.
That should be good enough to break seals.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you guys think? Should I switch to unboxing exclusively on Sting from now on?
That is part of the reason why we bought it.
Yeah, $30 letter opener apparently. So yeah, everyone got a budget. Diesel actually gave his budget to Slick. So
And B-roll never spent his.
B-roll never spent his budget. I never spent my budget. So basically, everything you see here is like Slick's personal favorite junk from ThinkGeek.
Yep.
Next up, we've got. Oh, hold on, I need that.
Oh.
Gotta open this.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you, thank you. It's glowing blue. There must be orcs nearby.
Oh.
Hey-oh! That wasn't really a hey-oh moment, but
Not
whatever.
really, but it's alright.
I don't care. So here is a sentry turret. Contains one collectible figure. Collect all 20 from Aperture Laboratories. Wow, it's really small. I guess it's more of a desk ornament than anything
Yeah.
else. Okay. Whoa, it fell.
At least they're still together.
Yeah, it held together in one piece. So that whoa, wow, it's really small. I can hardly show it to the camera. So there it is, this little sentry turret.
I was hoping he'd be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd be a little bit bigger than that, but whatever.
Okay, I guess.
Still gets a positive review, I think.
So far, the only
Mind you,
negative
the
review is
paint's
that-
kind of cheesy. Like, yeah, that's a pretty bad paint job.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? The turret gets sort of a very mediocre,
There's other turrets you could have bought, just that one was
cheap.
pretty cheap. Yeah.
What do you got?
It's Jake!
Jake should totally be our special guest for the live stream. We should have JJ and Jake join us. This is almost like life-size Jake, too.
He does.
Is it?
It's
Except
pretty
when he
good.
stretches big. That must be for batteries.
Yeah, you can feel.
So he has Jake Freight. Oh, plastic.
That's why it didn't work.
There we go.
probably.
Die unholy thing.
You know, every once in a while, it's distracting for me when I'm trying to watch Adventure Time, and I'm like, oh, it's Bender. That sounded like Bender, not like Jake.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, what a bumbleberry. Drop the Jake Exploder. Get ready for battle! Die, unholy thing!
I'm not even convinced that "Get ready for battle" thing is an actual quote from the show.
It must be.
He must say that at
Yeah.
some point, I guess. Anyway, there you go, guys. Jake Plush is here. We're not even able to keep track at all of sort of what's what and what goes where anymore,
Nope.
are we?
No,
Okay.
You have to
Close.
stank this.
What's next? What do you have to
You
do?
stank it.
No, you don't.
There's no button.
Tomo has always wanted to save the world, designed to defend mankind. He's something, something, something. Warning, choking hazard. Always purchase correct size battery. Clean the battery contacts. Well, there's probably no... Oh, there's a plug.
You spank it.
Oh, it's an arcade
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You're probably supposed to hit it on the side, like for your quarterback. So there you go. We got a little arcade guy. This was part of a bundle. This isn't
Yeah.
something we particularly cared about.
No. Basically, I wanted the 2 pillows, and I could buy the 2 pillows, or I could spend, I think it was like $5 more and get a whole bunch of other random stuff.
Which pillows were they? Were they the NES
Those,
pillows?
the NES pillows.
Those
yeah.
are awesome.
Yeah.
Are you doing all the unboxing? Oh,
think so.
okay. Here, do you want to cover
So
this one?
This was another one of the things that came in that grouping of stuff that included that little arcade thing. But this one's pretty cool because it's a heart, as you can see, but if you put hot liquid in it, depending on how high it is, I think that's either how much liquid there is or how high the temperature is within the cup.
It fills with like pixels, like red pixels
Yeah,
all the way
yeah.
up. So
So it's kind of cool. This will probably go to you. 'Cause I don't think anyone else drinks hot drinks.
he's back on energy drinks now. Those are bad
Are
for
you?
you. Yeah, he
Right.
was drinking them yesterday.
He'll probably
Well, I drank
flip.
coffee today, so...
Yeah, he'll flip flop a little bit. So this will probably be his, I'm sure. So you can stop drinking from my mugs.
Yeah. I tend to wash them.
What else you got back there? This is just a multi-sided die.
It came in that group of things.
Yeah,
as
it's a flashing D20. I don't think anyone... He's a D&D dork. Did you know that?
I used to be.
well. I played D&D as well.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently you're both D&D dorks. I was going to say, I don't think anyone here plays D&D, but I was apparently completely wrong.
This
So,
is just awesome.
This is just a cute Aperture Laboratories water bottle. Comes with a warning. Dihydrogen monoxide containment unit, which of course is water. May cause diaphoresis, micturition, and acute tissue hydration. So yeah, may hydrate you basically. So there you go.
That's pretty cool. And
pretty
some of
cute.
this stuff like that, I was thinking we could just have them in certain videos, like probably Tech Wiki videos, so that people can notice them and it can be kind of just cool.
Yep. I've had this water bottle before. Exactly, I recognize
Oh
the
yeah,
lid design.
yeah. It's just a label,
Yeah.
whatever. This is just awesome because Portal.
Yeah, I haven't played Portal 2 yet.
What? It's so good.
I know, I played Portal 1. It's because I'm an old gamer. I've played like old
You need
things.
to be young for a while and play
I
Portal
know.
2. Because Portal 2 is incredibly good.
It is.
And even the co-op is really
The
good.
baby was here yesterday. Have you seen him walk yet?
No.
Oh, he was like walking around
Really?
yesterday. Yeah.
That's pretty cool,
Diesel saw
actually.
him.
And he fell down the stairs.
Did he? That's
Well,
not
that
good.
was probably partially my fault. And he fell down one stair, so he fell down the stair, not the stairs. And this we just kind of had to have.
Yeah.
This is way less disappointing
That's, yeah.
than the like. How much did this cost? Like $10? Or like $5? 15?
It was, I think, 20.
It was a lot less than this stupid
and
axe.
I thought this style of quality would be on the axe because this is like you could probably hit something with this and it would probably be fine.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed with this axe, and I'm super happy with this Minecraft axe. So there you go, Mr. Assassin's Creed fanboy. Take you on.
It's disappointing. I would lose. I actually because this will not inflict any damage.
Yeah. I think actually the best weapon here is probably Sting. Because
Yeah.
this is quite plasticky and cheapo feeling, but I was kind of expecting that. It
It's
wasn't
super cheap.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like this is probably built like the rubber coating on this I guess is kind of nice, but this one looks
Why?
good. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
And this one looks like it came straight out of Adventure Time, which it's like dirty. I think it's
Which
like
is perfect.
dirty on purpose. Like
Yeah.
the cracks in it are just like dirty. It's awesome. Love it. So yeah, thin sword. What else
Like
we
this
got?
isn't even feathery. It's,
I know.
It's rubber.
I was saying that before. It's rubber. It's ridiculous. Someone asks when we're gonna game. I don't know. Whenever.
When we're done going through all our new toys.
What do you got next?
Clean up.
It's a TARDIS cookie box. I don't know when that stops.
After a while, evidently. So there you go. The cookies go in there.
And this
Hopefully
is
you guys
a
can see in there.
removable little thing.
So that one's kind of cool.
Really good prop. I don't know if we'll actually put cookies in it.
No, I don't think so. They'd probably go
Poster of
bad.
some sort.
Yeah, there's a few posters in here. There's some Do Not Cross barricade tape. This one says caution, zombies ahead.
I'm
So
sure we
got that
could use
one.
it in some video at some point in time.
Yeah.
We'll probably have a video with zombies in it.
Oh, I mean, we already have a video with ninjas in it, so.
Bastards. Ah. Am I taking these from you? I was like,
Or some.
sure, let's go with all of them. May as well. Ugh.
Human organ for transplant.
It's just
So this-
awesome.
Lunchbox, you know, pretty cool. EMT is the label on the top. Emergency meal transport. There you go. I thought that was kind of cute. Here, I'll take one of these. Do you have more stuff back there?
Nope.
Is that pretty much it?
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's, ThinkGeek must just do so much business. Just for, like, having random stuff that you find there.
Random awesome stuff. This one is huge. This must be the Serenity thing.
Oh, I don't know if we should open that.
Yeah, no.
I think that's probably going to take up too much space.
Do you think that's it? That's huge.
That's really
It
big.
says what it is on the thing.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
That's
is.
kind of smart. So, where?
I think on the other side. Like a sticker like this.
No.
No?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
me
the Game of
neither,
Thrones
actually.
map. This one is, the many moods of Spock. Where, of course, they're, or the emotions of Spock, I think. Something along those lines.
I'm pretty sure this is a giant. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that aside.
like a massive spaceship. I
Yeah.
remember telling Slick, I was like, yeah, when you order posters, make sure there's some kind of a plan for where it goes. Where does that one go? You don't have a plan.
Where did Sting go?
Sting is.
Here.
He found it by its glow
Yep.
because there's orcs nearby.
There's orcs nearby.
And the fact that it was probably poking his butt.
Well, that too.
That's a small detail. I think this is also. Yes.
Is that another Star Trek poster?
Yeah.
Here, do you want to help spread the... Is that the same poster?
Yeah, you ordered one for your mom.
Oh, that's right. Oh, shh, we're live.
I mean,
Well, my mom doesn't watch the stream though, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep that one. Keep
All
that one
wrapped
in there.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
I'll
spread
just-
this one out though. There's a surprise emotion where it's different.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I lied. They're all the same.
Awesome.
Yep. Oh, Leonard Nimoy.
What are you doing? How am I supposed to do this on my neck?
Give me the round.
There you go. So this is a what to do. Do you want to try and grab those two corners?
Yeah, here, give me a sec. Okay.
I'm sure some people have already figured out what it is.
I think he's.
Yeah, I think you
Did
said.
we?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Game of Thrones map. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
There is stuff missing.
Yeah, there is stuff missing now that I think about
This
it.
is not all of it.
Because there was another map, right? Like a
Yeah.
really nicely mounted. No, I saw that.
There's another box. Yeah.
Maybe it's downstairs or something.
This isn't.
No, because it's like
There's
mounted
I think there's a
in,
whole nother box
in like a
downstairs.
plaque or something.
Yeah.
Should we actually play games at some point or something? Oh, why don't we take a live caller?
Sure. Windspeed is not here.
Windspeed's not
I
here.
don't think so.
Okay. How do?
I don't know. I'll interface with my mods. Give me a sec.
Interface, really? It sounds dirty. I guess it depends how you interface with them. You could
Someone said, I'm expecting a massive after-party unboxing for the Christmas WAN show.
Well, by then we'd have opened all of our Christmas presents, don't you think?
I guess it wouldn't be an unboxing.
Yeah, it could be like,
Look at the stuff I got.
yeah. I usually don't really get any stuff for Christmas because I'm 26. So mine will be like whatever my wife gets me, which will be like something really practical, like socks. I actually love getting socks for Christmas.
Every single year. Socks. If I don't get socks for Christmas, I would say if I don't get socks for Christmas, I would be disappointed, but that has never happened. Because it's just a thing in my house that everyone gets socks. Like, everybody gets new socks.
Socks are awesome.
Yeah. I don't buy socks. I just get new socks at Christmas every year. It's awesome.
Whoa, that just hit the monitor. Oops. Do we have any other? Oh, you know what? I should probably kill the YouTube video. Not down there?
I'll be one second.
Oh.
Or is it right there?
Lol. Awesome.
So this is cool. It's a Minecraft torch that you can either hold or mount on the wall.
Uses 3 AAA batteries. Did you see that ginormous pack of AAAs I bought?
That's awesome.
Oh, do you
though.
still have Sting, Diesel? Oh, no, there it is. We are making such a mess right now. This
Oh,
is horrible. Like, it's absolutely horrible. Yeah, that thing's awesome.
I was
Here.
hoping it would be bigger.
I think that's about what I was expecting.
Mine at home's bigger.
So here's our Minecraft torch. The button's on the side. And, you know, it glows.
And I
evidently.
think you
Does
can
it
like
glow?
Yes.
take part of it off. Yeah, you can take a slight corner off so that it mounts on the wall. There you go.
Yeah, so you can actually, so you can mount it on the wall like this.
But it doesn't break how it should look,
Yeah,
which is cool.
which is really, really neat.
Oh, it weighs a bit.
We
That's
should get a
kinda
whole
cool.
bunch of them. They
They're
weren't
not
cheap,
that
though.
cheap.
Yeah, they
No.
weren't cheap. Which is sort of a problem for that
I
idea.
wanted to get enough that you could make it look like a hallway and we go down the hallway with the axe. That was like my whole idea, but then I changed it to okay, we can just have one in the hallway. It
Yeah.
still look pretty good.
And we'll settle for that, I think.
This is really nice actually.
Wow, you should be showing them.
I'm worried about because they won't be able to see it through the thing, so I gotta take the cover off.
Oh, okay. Has to be unboximulated first.
Actually, okay, it's just can I borrow Sting?
Sure, here you go.
I gotta use Sting to unbox the Lord of the Rings map.
This is also from ThinkGeek. I have no idea. There should be like a lead acid battery somewhere. Do you see
Yeah,
that?
it's.
You found the battery as well? Oh, all right. Oh, I'm so stoked to get that Power Wheels car running for him. Although you can mod them. So I want to get like a higher voltage.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, these are awesome. I want to get a higher voltage battery. You can put like better tread on the tires. You can get like a higher
Of course you can.
higher
Wow.
capacity batteries. Like I'm so gonna do it all.
This is super nice. I can't see what the camera sees, but it's a Lord of the Rings map. Trying to get it in focus.
Is this like a wood backing?
It's really nice.
Wow.
Super, really good printing. I can't really show the camera very well, but
Wow.
the printing is fantastic.
That's gorgeous.
Whoa! It's reflective.
Yeah, the red printing on it is reflective. I'll show you guys again, so hopefully you can see the red. I know it's not picking up that well on the camera, but it's really nice. As for quality, it's not the Assassin's Creed X.
Yeah, let's just put it that way. Alright, so these are just some cool Aperture Laboratories stickers. So, you know, you, co-work, accidents hurts, everyone, you know. Let's see. Welcome test subjects, please sign in. Know your allergens. Remember, if a future you tries to warn you about this test, don't listen. Vitrification order. Repulsion gel was Aperture's first attempt to create a dietetic pudding substitute. Is that a word? Slightly less non-toxic form of the fiberglass insulation that causes subsequently ingested food items to bounce off the lining of the dieter's distended stomach and out of his or her mouth. For various reasons, this product was pulled from the shelves. Excellent, cool stickers. We should have some topics that we should probably actually talk about.
Apparently
at some
a
point.
word.
Had not heard that word before, so there you go. You learn something every day.
Medical dictionary, so it's not like a... yeah.
Oh yeah, did you figure out if we were going to be able to get a caller? Do you want to just pull someone in randomly and we'll just kind of wing it?
We can do that.
Because yeah, we did move the whole live calling thing off of the WAN show just because we did get quite a few complaints about it. But we do still want to do the live callers. I mean, I felt very strongly about wanting to do live callers. It's just part of the problem is that compared to a radio, like everyone is familiar with the phone. No one's like, "Hello, can you hear me? Hello?" Because it's a phone. Whereas with any kind of like a new software, particularly one they haven't used, I think people's comfort level tends to be a little bit lower.
Lower.
And their confidence is a little bit lower that it's going to work.
And that was one of the biggest things, just the, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I guess we can hear you.
And then
Whatever, it's 2009.
not pausing the stream and not listening through comms, but listening through the stream, and yeah.
Yeah, so there's
was
just
some
quite
problems.
a bit of that.
I have to somehow figure out. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna try and
Where'd my
rejoin
headphones
that
go?
group.
All right, I'm gonna have to open up comms because we restarted the stream computer. And oh, did I just stab you with Sting? I'm sorry, I did not actually mean to do that.
I'm not an orc.
Although it's awesome, and I'm glad I did it now that it's happened. But
Ready to launch your online business? Make it more successful with Volusion.
no, go away, go away. Sorry. Good night, Diesel. Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you pass me my juice?
Juice.
Yeah, man.
Uploads. WAN show starting
dude.
now. Make it private.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, eh? I wish they had like a slightly higher model that wasn't just super plasticky. But then at the same time, maybe not. It might suit it.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it was solid.
But
At
I mean,
least
so
wooden.
much stuff's like that, where it's just like, would you really like have a sword fight with someone, even if it was more solid, with an Adventure Time sword?
No, but you'd feel better about swinging this around, right?
Yeah, that's
if you
true.
accidentally hit something, you wouldn't be like,
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Although it's plastic, so you won't even see a mark.
no.
But it might just break,
Yeah, that's true.
totally get destroyed outright. Okay. So, what are the odds we're gonna find someone there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna jump into one of our topics here then.
Keep moving on topics. I'll try and keep figuring this out. Right now, it's just breaking.
No way! Our Corsair contact is watching the show and says, I don't think our resident ham, Corsair George, will miss a chance to go on the show.
Nice.
So we have,
Good night.
good night! At least from Razor's PR, we have a tentative confirmation of some sort that Corsair George would potentially be willing to join us at some point in the future on an undisclosed time and date and place. So there you go. That's extremely exciting. So let's go ahead and fire up the document here.
Wow.
Well, maybe what I should do is just open the document on here where I already have it open. So you found some YouTube video that has. Oh, you know what? I'll go with one of my topics since. Do you think the PR hate train is going to end for Xbox One at some point?
Yeah.
Have they recovered now, or is it coming later?
Not entirely. There's actually a few indie developers that have stepped up and said read more closely into what they've said, because they're saying it's not really all it seems to be. They're not releasing XNA 2. This is more, they want people to develop, there's people looking into it because there isn't actually that much information out there about it
You haven't given that much context to the audience about this yet.
I thought you said it.
No, I just said, do you think that they're going to hate on Xbox One less?
I was reading this. I thought you talked about it more.
No, I haven't
bad.
started talking about... So the word on the street is that Microsoft is going to be a lot more friendly to developers with Xbox One. So any Xbox One will be a developer kit. They are going to allow developers potentially, I think this one's up in the air right now, to self-publish? Or is that one confirmed now?
That one's, yeah, but it's just how they're going to self-publish and other things that tie in with it that are possible issues.
So it may be powered through Windows, through the Windows Store, forcing Windows 8 development.
Yeah, which
How
is
smart is that?
smart and possibly not smart, because indie developers are already mad about it. People are used to XNA. XNA is a good platform. Now they have to start developing for Windows 8. They'll have to get Windows 8 in general. Maybe they don't want to move to Windows 8. Windows 8 is not a very highly accepted development platform. So they're pushing another product by opening up a field. So it isn't necessarily all it seems to be immediately on the surface. Now, there isn't a ton of information about this yet. The Windows 8, forcing Windows 8 development thing is already, because they're also saying that the Xbox One should be its own development kit, but it won't be ready on launch.
Okay.
So people are kind of speculating, because it ties in so well with Windows, are they maybe just going to have the Windows 8 like game market development thing built into the Xbox at some point in time? So everyone's trying to figure it out, but because of that like odd lack of information that Xbox has been doing for so long now.
Why have they been doing this? If they just would spell things out in the first place, everything that they've said should have been the stuff that they were hiding. And everything that they're hiding seems to be the stuff that they should be talking about, because it'll make people feel better.
Yeah. So because of everything that's going on, people are trying to figure out, okay, is it going to be 100% locked down to Windows 8 development? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Are they eventually going to release XNA 2? Like, what is going to happen? Because right now it's kind of crazy.
Fascinating.
And a lot of indie developers for Xbox... Okay, I shouldn't say a lot of them. Some indie developers for Xbox Live have only really worked in XNA.
Right.
Because the XNA is a really good platform, and there's an insane amount of tutorials for it and stuff. So you can just pick it up. You can start your programming experience with XNA, and you're fine. So, yeah.
So basically, they're putting developers in a position where they could just as easily switch to PS4 as they could switch to Xbox One if they're currently used to developing for Xbox 360. That's a big problem.
So, yeah. The guy that made Retro City Rampage, have you heard of that?
No.
It was this crazy GTA mod that just became its own thing at some point in time. So now it's called Retro City Rampage. GTA as in GTA 1. He has come out and said, like, warning people, like, read into it more. And we don't know enough yet. Don't just take that headline and run with it.
Right.
Because there's more potentially going on. We don't know yet. That's a big part of the thing, is like, who knows if it's actually... Did you hear that?
What?
There's a doorbell. I can go get it. But
Oh.
who knows if it's actually...
Hold on. If you want to figure out the next live caller, I can get the doorbell.
Sure.
Okay. Let's, cause yeah, I want to get at least a few live callers on in the next little bit here.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
What did I do?
Laptop. You kicked your power cable for the laptop. Oh, man. Okay, guys, so what I'm trying to figure out is... freaking how to grab someone from the open channel. But the second I joined it, I started lagging out so much that I might not actually be able to. I am not going to pull QCD in because he scares me. So I'm going to try and see if I can grab someone else. Oh my goodness, WAN Open is going so fast. If everyone in WAN Open can like chill for a little bit, that would be really helpful. And post what you want to talk about maybe. And volley in or whatever you are. Don't talk in this channel, man. This is not supposed to be a voice channel. No, troll! Don't troll me. I have Sting. Don't troll me. You gotta, come on, man. Come on. Think of that more deeply. What is your guys' favorite thing that we got from our insane Think Geek order? I'm covered up by the... What is your favorite thing that we got from our Think Geek order? Personally, I think mine is the Middle Earth map, because it's really high quality, really nice. I wish it was bigger. I have a canvas Middle Earth map, personally, which is a lot bigger, but not as nice as that one, which is slightly disappointing. Adventure Time Sword, Minecraft Torch. The Adventure Time Sword is pretty cool, but it's, like, extremely plasticky. What was that?
E-data stuff.
Oh, not the mixer?
No, not the mixer.
The mixer's, like, really late.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we're supposed to have an audio mixer, so, yeah. So much for that, hey?
Yep.
Okay, let me get my laptop again here that I almost totally bricked. You should, like, play some games at some point or something. Because I did get it working, I think.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure. Why don't I do some Twitter stuff? What happened to all my tabs? That's weird. There it is. Completely more different Chrome. That's not the right Chrome that I wanted to use. Okay. You guys... Also, you guys held Twitter as better than YouTube subs. Just made this account. Already have seen discrepancies in what people see and what I see. You know what? That much may be true, but I would say that it's better than YouTube. Really, the reason... this is actually something that Lou and I don't agree on, and I believe that the forum platform is very much still alive. With the forum, our server, we will deliver the content to you. And no one's algorithm can ever interfere with that, well, other than the algorithm of our server being down or whatever else. But it's actually been a lot better over the last little while. We've moved to dedicated hosting. It's been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of different reasons. Added a lot of new security. But yeah, Twitter's better than YouTube, but I personally believe that building a proper community website is better than allowing someone else to manage your community for you and relying on their, goodwill and continuation of existence and all those things. All right, I got 9 new Twitter interactions here. Please talk to Review Tech USA about coming on the show. It'd be a great addition. I've never talked to him before, so I would have to reach out. What real-world gaming difference would headphones like custom ones make over a similar-priced gaming headset? Well, that's exactly it, is there aren't any similar-priced gaming headsets, other than maybe someone like Sennheiser, or some of the more, really niche stuff. Like, what was that brand that we were talking to, and they were going to send us some stuff for review, and then they said we weren't a good fit for them or something?
Wasn't that...
Plantronics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Plantronics has some really expensive stuff, but for the most part, gaming headsets are in a completely different price tier than audio headsets. And I've said this before, and I'll stand by this forever, and that is, good headphones are good headphones. There's no such thing as gaming optimized. I mean, you can have more bass heavy, or you can have, a sound signature that emphasizes mids more for, better picking up of footsteps or whatever else. But a lot of the time, That's just another way of saying that the range that this pair of headphones can deliver is lower. Because using a high-end pair of monitors, so something like a reference sound that's very flat, you'll hear the bloody footsteps. It's not like they're gone because the headset can produce other sounds. Footsteps are still there. And you can always adjust things with something like a software EQ.
Yeah.
But you're better off having a pair of headphones or a piece of sound equipment that is capable of producing the range in the first place and then tuning from there. What are my thoughts on the 5-minute break? I kind of have to go to the bathroom, so 5-minute break's not a bad idea. But the problem is that for everyone who wants a 5-minute break, there's probably 30 people who are going to tune out during a 5-minute break. It's not really the format of our show. I'm not saying it's impossible for us to ever do it. And if there's enough demand, as you guys probably know, or at least I hope you know by now, we do listen to viewer feedback. I do read most of the comments under my videos, at least in the couple days after they launch. So if I see enough demand for it, then we'll see. All right. How are the headsets you're using right now? We've actually only used these for voice communication and only for one side of it. So I think it's really hard for us to really comment too much on them. With that said, they are gaming headphones. So they are not, $300 audiophile grade headphones by any stretch of the imagination. I think with a lot of gaming headphones, it's more to do with the style. I think when it comes to gaming gear, that you can go with any one of the more reputable brands and you're going to expect it to be good enough quality. It's not going to just, you're not going to fling it down in frustration once and it's going to just completely fall apart. So as far as all those things go, no complaints, but I haven't done any real music listening or movie watching or anything like that. Have people in the stream say their username or tweet it to join a call on comms. Probably not the best way to do it.
Boom. Got one. We had a problem with another guy and his invite, something going on. He accepted it but didn't work or something.
All right.
He hasn't activated Mike yet, but Crazy Mike 10, if you are watching, click the headset button in the top left-hand corner of that screen that you're looking at. There you go. Then give us 1 second. Just in the live showroom. Double click. There you go.
Crazy Mike, you're live on the WAN show after party.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Sorry, can you hear me? Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm not going to talk about that. Actually, I just have a quick question for the both of you. I've just noticed lately that the amount of tech that has come out, with Google Glass and the iWallet and whatnot, it's been advancing very fastly, but it's also been slowed down by society saying, what? Are we ready for this kind of thing? What do you guys think? Like, is tech going to come to a point where it's going to be so slow that society has to catch up before it actually advances again? Or what do you think?
I think we're at a point with a lot of different things where stuff like Google Glass almost needs to go slowly, because it's a completely different concept. And when you're advancing in the form of like, okay, this new TV got better, it's different than this is a completely new product that has never been seen before. Completely new products maybe need to go a little bit slowly so that we can get up to laws, social policies, all that other kind of stuff ready for when it's released.
And with that said, you look at a company like Google, and I think they're completely willing to keep investing the R&D money to keep advancing Google Glass. I mean, Google Glass V1 in its current iteration is totally not ready for prime time.
No.
It's a piece of junk. It's not ready for the mainstream. So I don't think Google is going to...
Whoa, stop moving your mic, please.
There we go.
Oh, that's not me, man.
Oh, who is that?
I don't know.
Okay, it's gone away now at any rate. So Google Glass Google is not going to slow down the development of Glass because they're waiting for things to catch up. I mean, look at what they did with their self-driving cars, where they couldn't get approval to test them, so they just put them on the road anyway. And then when they sought approval again, they were just like, well, blah, 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 you can quote whatever you want about the dangers, but there's only been one accident and it was caused by the human driver, not by our self-driving car. And I think that is what will keep the technology moving forward. And then as the technology matures, people will get that desire to have it because it will be so much more functional than what something like Google Glass is right now, where people, I think, are a lot more hesitant about it because it's just not that exciting.
And bringing in another thing, actually, again with Google, is with Google Fiber. A lot of internet companies have been able to deliver way faster speeds than they currently are, but they're super, super lazy. But you need that company like Google to actually step in. It's not necessarily the people that aren't ready for it, it's companies that don't care. And
Yeah.
have,
Well,
like,
what do you
say, a
guys think about
monopoly.
the iWallet, like the personal driver's license on like a phone, or your social security number on a phone?
And
Like,
this is a great question because I consider myself relatively tech savvy and relatively accepting of things. Like, I don't really stress out about PayPass on my credit cards or anything like that. If someone's like close enough that they're pretty much touching my junk with a scanner, you know, I'm probably going to notice that kind of thing. But I freak out a little bit about having something like a SIN, which is our equivalent for a
oh,
social
big.
security.
Yeah, I know. I'm from Alberta, so I know what
Oh,
you're
okay.
talking about.
Phones are a super insecure platform.
Yeah. I mean, I was having a conversation with a friend whose mom, is it him? Weird. Okay, I was having a conversation with a friend whose mom found out that he was dating, or not whose mom, whose girlfriend's mom found out that they were dating by snooping around on his girlfriend's phone. And you kind of go, well, why did she let her mom use her phone in the first place, et cetera, et cetera. People don't think about it. A phone is an accessory to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the insane thing about keeping any kind of really personal information on it. I mean, mine is already at the point where if someone got their hands on my phone, it's a big problem for me.
Yeah, I try and avoid to keep anything personal on the phone because I mean, you lose that baby. It's like you carrying around your driver's license in your wallet. Have you ever lost your wallet? It's freaking hell.
I've lost my wallet once. It's horrible.
I
I
have
didn't
not.
lose it. My locker at the pool got broken into, and they stole it.
Now,
I
if
left
you could
mine.
only imagine if that's your phone, like
Yeah.
you can duplicate that so many times.
I did go through the process of thinking I'd lost my wallet, so I started to look into how much things cost because I left it on a bus. Miracle of miracles, they actually turned it in. It still had cash in it.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't even believe it. I
If
was
I
so
ever
lucky.
lose my wallet, like, honestly, take the cash. Just give me my wallet back.
Yeah.
I need all the other stuff. I need my cards. I need my identification. I need that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's such
And,
a
like,
hassle to get a new SIN number or a SIN card,
Yeah.
driver's license, Visa card, MasterCards, all that crap.
And,
Here's
like,
something embarrassing. In my wallet, I used to keep my birth certificate.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's not
I almost did up until about 2 years ago.
I used it as secondary ID. I didn't have a
Yep.
credit card yet.
That's
Yep.
sketchy.
Yeah.
That's way too sketchy.
I shouldn't even say that I was that stupid, but I used to have my birth certificate in there.
Wow, yeah, that's sketchy. It's just because, like, with the someone taking the money out of the wallet thing again, I wouldn't even ask them if they like hand returned it to me, and I checked and there was no money, and I'd be like, thanks,
Yeah.
because like, I don't care.
I consider it a finder's fee.
Yeah, whatever, that's fine.
All right, guys. Well, I've taken up a lot of your time, so we'll go on to the next one.
Thank you for calling in.
Later.
All right. Next caller is Wax DT, I think. Yeah, just remove from group. Just boot him. There we go. All right.
Just wondering about. Wax, I think we can hear you.
Hey, Wax, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
So yeah, hello.
Hi.
So my discussion topic was about like technology standards, how there's so many standards for different things, and how the EU is enforcing some of these standards. And for example, for development standards too, like everybody's using this, everybody's using that, and it's like, what is your opinion on that?
What was the first thing you said? What kinds of standards?
Technology standards.
Oh,
Like how-
technology standards.
Yes.
A lot of the time, it's who wins. or what's best.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, like Blu-ray and HD.
Sometimes those two things aren't necessarily related.
No. Blu-ray and HD were very public. A lot of the times it's not quite as public. And some things that people won't actually necessarily understand is like positive or negative DVDs.
Oh yeah. DVD plus, DVD minus.
Yeah, that's actually two different groups.
Yeah,
It's
two
not-
different groups. They were not compatible early on
Yeah.
in DVD, if you guys don't remember that. And that was a big problem because it was extremely confusing for consumers.
Yep. So these are actually two different. I believe one of them is like the DVD Alliance or something, and the other one's some other crazy thing.
It's like that South Park episode where there's the there's the different groups of the United Atheist Alliance and the whatever they were, all the different groups of atheists that are all fighting with each other because they have a slightly different name. It turns out the issue they're fighting over is what is the optimal name for an atheist group. But it really feels like that sometimes. And stuff like Minidisc, very public. Stuff like Adobe Flash, we're in tune with it. But does my mom know about all the nonsense going on between someone like Apple and Adobe and everyone else out there who's, oh, we need to move to HTML5. No, Silverlight is the future. No, Adobe Flash is everything. Web 2.0, Web 3.0, whatever label you want to apply to the web. The web is a slowly evolving process. There is no Web 2.0.
I was just gonna say, oof, thank you. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I completely agree. It's
So
just
yeah,
who
as a
wins or
web
what's better.
developer myself, it's like very hard to do like e-stuff and stuff. You mean, like choosing a standard or choosing a platform to develop on, and
You
then
have to pick the best option that you can for
of course,
what you're
but
trying
there's
to
like
do.
some platform is good at that thing, and some platform is good at that thing, but there's not a general like best.
No,
If you wanna-
because a platform is so important and such low level actually. And I know there's like so many different things between the platform that you're developing on and when it gets to the hardware and all that kind of stuff, but it is realistically so low level as in like, yeah, whatever you get, that it there's no way, at least in the near foreseeable future, that there's going to be one language, because it just won't be optimized for it.
Mhm.
Until you can basically speak to a computer and write a program that way, which will probably
Yeah, of
happen
course.
eventually, but until you can do that, it will probably be super diverse.
Okay, we're probably going to move on to the next caller now. Thank you very much
Yes,
for calling
thank you
in,
very
Wax
much.
DT.
Yes. Thanks.
All right, do you want to find us another one?
I got one, but it'll take me a second. Oh my goodness.
Sure thing. Let me see if there's something else that I wanted to talk about in the meantime. Oh, right, this. I'm going to show them that video. This is a thread from the forum, and I saw this. The title of the thread is, "Am I Bad for Laughing? Raccoon Throw." Did you see this?
I've seen it, yeah.
This is just the most ridiculous thing ever. So, guys, check this out. It's only about 44 seconds. So, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My dog was being attacked. He doesn't encourage animal violence. Just wanted to get it away as fast as possible. So, here's a dog and a raccoon. Here's this guy.
It's not a random guy, though.
Well, no, it's the dog's owner.
Yeah, but it's like the founder of Dig.
Look at this.
Whoosh.
So the comments on this video are, as you can imagine, pretty polarized. There's one way, there's the guy's horrible, how could he throw that animal, etc., etc. And the other side is like, well, yeah, but the other animal's his dog. You don't want your dog getting some like stanky raccoon bite that makes it like die. I mean, even with domesticated animals that are healthy and all that, did you hear about that lady in Ontario that got a very rare infection from a dog bite that was accidental when she was playing with them? Just barely nicked the skin and coma. Lost 3 of her limbs.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Did not hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, even with a safe animal, there's these rare things that can happen. You don't want some raccoon bite going on. With that said, I don't know that I would go in with my hands. I'd probably kick the raccoon, but I mean, yeah, that video is something else.
It's interesting.
Are you ready with a caller?
Yep, he's actually in already. Hello, Tiger Claws. Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, hello.
Oh,
He's
okay.
here.
So, my question is, what do you guys think about the Blizzard's decision in the WCS competing with the International 3?
So have you heard about this?
Yes.
I'm sure Diesel told you.
Yes, actually, you know what? Funny story. Here, check this out. Here it is on our topics. Here we go.
This is Diesel's only write-up in the topics, is it not?
Yeah, I know, right? So Blizzard schedules WCS regionals at the same time as the International 3, Valve's Dota 2 tournament. So I was actually listening over Diesel's shoulder to Total Biscuit's take on this whole thing, and he's mad as hell from a lot of different perspectives. So one is as a consumer, because you've got all of these... Okay, hold on. We should give a little bit of background. The regional finals for StarCraft 2 are running at the same time as each other.
Which is insane already.
Which is just, like, bat crap stupid. How
really
could you
dumb.
do something that's stupid?
Really dumb.
And then also at the same time as the International 3, which is arguably the biggest tournament in the world with a $2.6 million prize pool, mostly funded by the actual viewers, the consumers of the content. So they're buying compendiums, which are $10 digital pamphlets, allowing a fantasy football style of play, allowing them to vote for all-star show match players and other things to come, and $2.50 of each one goes to the prize pool, which is said to have funded the entire event. So, as usual, the way Valve does it is a million times better than the way anyone else does it, even though they've never really done the whole esports thing before.
Once.
Well, I mean, they had
the other international, but it was just as good.
Right, but they've never been that involved. You look, even when they had Counter-Strike, which was an esport type game, they never really got involved. They were very hands off.
But they also never stepped in the way. Blizzard has stepped in the way.
Right. But you can contrast them sharply with someone like Riot.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Blizzard is kind of doing their thing.
Blizzard's finally getting on board, has stepped in the way in the past.
Yeah.
Valve is just like, do whatever.
Do
because
whatever.
That seems like what they always do. And then Riot just throw all the money at the problem.
So one of the definite topics of discussion is, how overwhelming is this if you watch StarCraft?
It's insane. I want to watch all 4 things. How ridiculous is that? Like, I can't.
It's impossible.
And then I'm gonna start watching one of them, whatever one it is, because it'll be a good matchup, the best matchup out of the 4 things, and then I'll want to see that carried through to the end, so I won't break off. But then I want to see the other things.
And this is the way that esports has to grow up. You look at something like the NHL, or even something like pro sports on TV in general. They try to avoid each other.
It's smart.
They don't want to run the Stanley Cup final on the same day as the Super Bowl.
Why would you ever do that?
It's just, this is stuff that everyone and their dog has had figured out for years, and yet Blizzard just seems to have their heads so far up their butts, and they're not even considering as well. So this was a lot of Total Biscuit's rant on it, was what's he supposed to do as a team owner, as a team sponsor, where a lot of his personal money goes into his team.
He's a sponsor, yeah.
Sponsor.
Yeah.
Where, okay, how's he supposed to deliver ROI to his sponsors? To the sponsors for his team that he owns? What's he supposed to do?
He doesn't own them.
Okay, sure.
He's like the
Yes.
super sponsor,
So,
basically.
He refers to it as owning it.
It's easier to say it
yes,
that way.
Easier to say it that way, where he's the primary sponsor. But he's the one coordinating other sponsors. So if he can augment it with that, then that's great. How's he supposed to show an ROI for those guys if you're splitting the views 4 ways? How's he supposed to
insane.
show them the exposure?
Absolutely insane.
Blizzard is killing their own esports community by doing stuff like this.
And like everyone sees through it right away. Now with the internet, the amount people talk, like there's no way people wouldn't have just let it float by. This is insane. And Valve's gotta be pissed.
And I think we've let our caller just sort of sit there. Did you have anything else to say?
No, you guys cover it pretty completely. So yeah, just thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for bringing it up. We did mean to talk about it, but Lou's not really an esports guy, and he was on for a lot of the show, so this topic just kind of got lost. But no, it's definitely a big thing, and definitely something that we wanted to talk about.
All right, love your show. See you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
man. See you later. It's just so ignorant. Like, they're jumping into esports blind, basically, because they've ignored and or not helped at all in a negative way their own esports community. Like, taking away support for certain things and killing parts of it.
When they were the largest esports community for a long time. I mean, you look at even things like, well, particularly StarCraft 1, I guess, would be the biggest one.
Brood War, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Brood War was massive, and if it had any support, especially North American support, they had no North American support, because in Korea, people stood up and were like, okay, we'll just do it ourselves. That's why it got so big in Korea. No one actually stood up to the same degree as they did in Korea. So if there was support by Blizzard in North America, it could be massive. But it's just not. It's really disappointing, actually.
I haven't actually seen this yet. Apparently the UK is blocking porn.
Yep. Well, it's like a bill or whatever. I don't think it's actually through yet.
Huh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it's through yet.
My take on that, good luck. It's been tried before. Prohibition never works.
Yeah, not only will it not work, but people are pissed.
Yeah. It's like,
Because one of the big things, okay, this
don't
has
try to
happened-
take away their booze. Don't try to take away their smut. That's all that there is to it.
Yeah. It says and other adult content.
Yeah.
That's why so many people are pissed off, because what does other adult content mean? And this has brought in, like, politicians are now able to fight on the side of the people that want porn without saying, I want my porn, because they can say, what is other adult content? We don't want to be like China. And the company that they want to run it is a big Chinese company that has a really shady background. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk in the Twitch chat right now. So the problem in general is censorship in general, and yeah, the whole wording of all other adult content, like, is that anything that's 18 plus? I don't know. Is that going to be games? Is that going to be, what is it going to be?
What
Who
the
knows?
heck is other adult content?
Yeah.
Like,
Possibly include sites like Reddit, apparently.
Reddit has porn on it.
Apparently Logan talked about about this on the text, so since he's already sort of talked about it, that's probably a good place to go hear a fairly insightful opinion about it.
Yeah.
So Logan, Tech Syndicate.
A man who very much enjoys his booze.
Yeah, I know, right? What do you got?
Try and get another caller.
Yeah, sure. Bring it on.
We do have other topics. I will try and grab another caller while you do that.
Sure. Do we have other topics?
There's the Assassin's Creed thing, and I want to bring that up not just because there's a awesome, really long video of gameplay within Assassin's Creed, but one thing that Ubisoft has been doing for a long time that I find really interesting is they will pull from their own games a lot.
Right.
So a bunch of stuff that they just released in Far Cry 3 that worked really well, they're taking a bunch of that and throwing it at Black Flag, which is Assassin's Creed 4.
That's good. I mean, internal competition between teams
That's
is
really
outstanding.
good. Yeah, and helping each other too, though, because
Yep.
Assassin's Creed 3 had hunting, but it was stupid and useless, and
Yeah.
no one really did it. Far Cry 3 had hunting, and it made sense. It was interesting and fun, and it helped you progress in the game. So it became a gameplay mechanic instead of just this thing on the side that no one really did.
Like a random weird achievement.
Yeah. So now Black Flag is going to have more important hunting, which is interesting. And okay, PETA, people hunt because they need materials, and both of these things are like very primal situations. So shut up. And what was I going to say? The Assassin's Creed has always had a certain amount of free roaming,
Yeah.
but not to the style or degree of Far Cry 3, where you could just go wherever the heck you wanted, kind of all the time. So now, instead of having like these segmented cities which you fast travel between and are very story driven, in Assassin's Creed 4, it's this giant mass, and you can just go wherever the heck you want,
That's kind of cool.
which is actually really nice.
So, since we're sort of, are we still killing time in between the next
Yeah,
caller?
I just
Okay.
wanted to throw that topic.
So I wanted to talk about the Samsung 840 EVO, because I don't think we ever actually covered that during the WAN show.
Oh my goodness! No, we didn't.
Basically, because we teased it and then we didn't talk about
Yeah,
it. So, oops. So Samsung has new SSDs coming up to 1 terabyte capacity. So they have 120, 250, 480, 500. I don't know. They have 750, and then they also have a 1 terabyte. So pretty much, to me, this marks the end of performance SSDs. And I don't even know, like I haven't talked to anyone at Samsung about it. I don't even know if they plan to release an 840 EVO Pro. But right now, in terms of real world performance, the 840 EVO is pretty darn close to something like an 840 Pro, especially once you enable some of the cool features that are on it. And it's using TLC flash, so very much a mainstream technology. It's going to be coming in at a mainstream price point, and it's turned SSD commodity pretty much. I think we're at the point now where SSD, at least over the SATA interface, has done what it's going to do, and premium SSD is going to be a thing of the past. I mean, companies like OCZ that made their mark by having the highest performance SSD and being aggressively priced, no one's going to care anymore, because a 10% performance difference between, 1 FPS and 0.99 FPS, actually that's a bad example. So like a 30% performance difference between 10 frames per second and 13 frames per second is very noticeable, whereas a 10% difference between 100 and 110 is not that noticeable. And I'm not saying SSDs affect the frame rates of your gaming, but what I'm saying is that now that SSDs are all pretty much fast enough, we just don't need it anymore. We just don't need more performance for now. That might change over the next little while as PCI Express SSDs become more of a thing. There are new standards coming that'll basically allow PCI Express over a cable, and we can see, faster speeds. Intel has their Thunderbolt 10 gigabit per second USB thumb drive, and if you can build a thumb drive, you can definitely build an SSD that's that fast. So all of this is coming, but pricing, $650, I think, for the 1 terabyte Samsung drive. The 250 gig is the one that's really intriguing to me because it has most of the performance of the higher capacity drives. It has very good longevity, even though it's using TLC flash, and it comes in at a very reasonable cost per gig. So a couple of the cool features that these drives have are the turbo write buffer, which uses some of the NAND. Looks like it's about, what was it? About 10%? No. 32 gig buffer on that one, so about 3% on the 1 terabyte. And it actually uses some of the TLC, so that's 3-bit per cell MLC flash, in SLC mode. So when it's writing to the drive, we actually had a NAS that we talked about on NCIX Tech Tips last week that used RAM as a write cache, which I was like, that's just bizarre. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen, because if you cache something in RAM and the power goes out, that's a big problem because it's volatile memory. It doesn't survive a power cycle. Whereas if you were to cache it into flash really quickly, by instead of storing 3 bits on a cell, storing 1 bit on a cell, you'd be able to get a ton of performance out of it. It is still long-term storage that will survive a power cycle, but then what the SSD does is it dumps into TLC flash once it goes idle. So when you're doing very short bursts, such as installing a program or doing something like that, it'll write it to the SLC flash and then move it over, which is phenomenally cool. And in a real-world performance situation, like on OnTech's review, which is excellent, by the way, they were able to demonstrate how it performs really well and then drops off like this. But I can't think of too many situations where that would actually be that much of a problem unless you're doing very large file copies, for example. So there's that one. It's mostly impactful on the lower capacity drives, such as the 120 gig model, showing about a 3 times write speed improvement, whereas the 1 terabyte, it doesn't really make as much of a difference because there are more flash chips that it can read and write to simultaneously, meaning it's just generally higher performing from the start. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about.
We have a caller.
We have a caller?
Yeah.
Should I finish up the SSD or should I wait for
Oh,
the caller?
I thought you were talking. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about on this particular SSD, and that is their DRAM caching solution. So this is probably the first time we've seen anything come out of their Novello acquisition. So the guys that were making Dataplex caching software solutions for OCZ, Crucial, Corsair, anyone who released a caching drive. So what, here it is, hold on, where is it? Rapid technology, that's what they're calling it. So Samsung is allowing you to set aside up to 1 gig of system memory as a read and write cache. So the write cache part of that I don't particularly like, but I think that's part of the reason why Samsung is being so conservative on the 1 gigabyte limit, because if they were to let you have like 16 gigs of RAM, then what that would mean is you'd have to rely on, in a critical error, power failure, you'd have to rely on the memory dump succeeding, which it doesn't always do, otherwise you might potentially lose data. But I'd be really interested in a solution that's sort of somewhere in between, where they give you 16 gigs of read cache out of memory, and they give you like a small write cache, for example, like maybe a gig.
Yeah.
But AnandTech was measuring, I think, up to like 4 gigabytes per second on their SSD when they had this technology enabled. And realistically, Windows is supposed to be doing this. Supposed to be using your memory to cache frequently used files, but they're so passive and just not aggressive at all about caching things that it's just totally useless, and it basically does nothing. So good on Samsung for being the drive manufacturer to fix that. So Rapid Enable does increase CPU utilization, but it also dramatically improves SSD performance. And this is going to make the benchmarking of SSDs very muddy moving forward in the future, especially if more makers start to implement weird software features that optimize the performance in such a way that it's good, and it makes the SSD last longer and just generally be better, but more difficult to compare against each other. So let's take our caller.
Jags, you're live, man. Jags.
Hold on. Are you sure?
Are you not in?
Let me double check. Might be
You
me who's
are.
the problem. Oh, there we go. Hi, Jags.
Oh,
Hello.
I can't hear you from comms.
You can't hear me from comms.
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So I was recently thinking, like, some while back, there was like these. I know, Linus, you had Wi-Fi controlled lights in your house.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot time back, like there was Samsung had was it a smart fridge or something? So
Samsung smart
I
fridge?
just started thinking that could a company like Samsung like start like have a control the smart home industry, like they would have all the like home appliances, like, and they would work together.
I personally don't
devices.
think that's the route it's going to go. I think that the way it's going to go is it again comes down to standard battles, because Samsung actually, just like what you're saying. So for those of you who couldn't hear the caller very well, he's asking when it comes to something like home automation. So we did a little showcase on Insteon home automation products and how you can control different scenes. Like you can be like, oh, I'm not home. Lock all my doors, turn off all my lights, You know, boom, one click of a button, and so some of the smart appliances that are coming out, all this home automation stuff that is very much happening and is extremely exciting. So the caller was asking, what are the odds someone like Samsung is just going to walk in and dominate this whole thing? And I don't think that's going to happen, because what Samsung has done historically is make exactly the same mistakes that someone like Sony makes. Why does every Sony initiative fail? Where's mini disc? Where's memory stick? Where is all this stuff? Nowhere. No one cares, because everyone wants a standard that can be supported by multiple supporters. So something like SD, that's why SD won, not memory stick. That's why something like that's why someone like Apple or Google is probably going to win home automation, as opposed to someone like Samsung, because Samsung is going to try to build their proprietary technology into everything, so that you have to own an entire Samsung ecosystem to get something that's basically just half-baked anyway. I mean, you look at the way that their tablets, smartphones, and smart TVs integrate. If you've ever actually tried to use it, it's a laugh. It's just, it's totally inelegant because of two things. Number one is that it relies on sort of all this special hardware to work. And number two is that Samsung knows, deep down, they know nobody's using this.
No.
Because you have to have all these different pieces. I mean, even things like their tablets. I remember my Galaxy Tab 10.1 doesn't have All Share Play. Why not? Well, because it doesn't. You have to get the, the cellular version of the same tablet. I'm like, well, it's a Wi-Fi technology. Oh, well, there's a hacked way you can do it. And I'm just like, that's unacceptable. That's ridiculous.
It is. It's crazy. And like, people that are going to be doing home automation, this is going to be people installing stuff in these people's homes. They're not going to buy it all at one point in time.
Yes.
Which is another problem.
Samsung expects like all the same generation of products bought all at the same time.
Yes, and so does a lot of these different companies. They want you all to buy everything all at once so that it works really well together. No, that's not what people want. They want to be able to add things on. Yeah. No one can afford, not that many people can afford to outfit their entire house with home automation, everything, all in like the same week.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So I think that Samsung will try, and I think it will be a complete and utter failure, and they will eventually give in, and or someone will build a technology that latches onto it. So you look at something like Chromecast.
Yeah.
Like Samsung's trying to push their whole smart TV evolution box that upgrades their old smart TVs to the newer standards. How much does that thing cost? No thanks, I'll put a Chromecast dongle in the back of my TV.
That thing's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So thanks, caller.
Thanks, Jags. All right, I can continue to look for a new one?
Sure.
All right. The open chat is going so fast, and it's insane, so it's hard to even, if I see someone, sorry people if I'm missing you, if I see someone, it's even hard to like grab their name before it scrolls by. So yeah.
If they're already past you by the time you see them, you could just grab their bum instead of their name.
I heard you can get in trouble for that.
Can you?
I think so.
Oh. Alright, so the new Nexus 7, codename Razor, fully detailed and benchmarked, 2 gigs RAM, Snapdragon S4 Pro, and a 1920 by 1200 screen. So, as expected, it has a bigger screen. Remember guys, it's reported as 1200 by 1824 because of the on-screen nav bar. That actually kind of drives me crazy about Android devices. Tablets, where the nav bar just does not go away. It's just ridiculous.
You should mod it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just too much work. It should just not do that by default. So it's about 320 pixels per inch, which is awesome. Snapdragon S4 Pro quad-core clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, so that's pretty good. Apparently NFC is now confirmed since the last time I read this article, and there's a 3950 milliamp hour battery, so up to 9 hours of active use. Wireless charging, wireless N, no wireless AC, and here's a whole bunch more stuff that you can see about it. So there you pretty much have it. The benchmarks are completely unsurprising. I mean, this is kind of like when people are like, oh, Linus, how do you think the new GTX 760 is going to install? When the rumors are already out there, we know it's got a GK104 core. We know it has this much RAM. We know it has this much memory bus. It's going to perform about sort of between this and this. So there should be absolutely no surprises with how the new Nexus 7 is going to perform, because it's running Android 4.3, it's going to have a Snapdragon S4 Pro, blah, 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 blah. It's going to have 2 gigs of RAM. It was rumored that it was going to have 4 gigs of RAM, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. So, yeah, it falls right about where you'd expect, in between, I think it was the, in between the HTC One and something else. Anyway, you can check out the article. It's on androidpolice.com. And I'm still not sold on tablet. So, yeah.
I'm not a huge tablet fan.
All right, so do we have a caller?
Yep.
Whiskers, you're up. Or you're down. I don't know where you are. You could be anywhere. You're on Razer Comms.
I think he's in an uppy-downy position.
An uppy-downy position?
General uppy-downy position.
That sounds dirty.
Also known as crouching.
Crouching? I don't think crouching is called uppy-downy. You know what, guys? Download Razer Comms if you haven't already. Use this bit.ly link. It helps us out a whole lot. Hi, Whiskers. You're live. He's all like, can you hear me?
No, he's not saying can you hear me because of how much we've told people over that. So he's just talking, and he's paused the stream. That's my theory. Because we tell everyone to pause the stream, and we tell everyone not to check if we can hear them. So he's probably explaining his question.
And I can't hear him at all.
I have whiskers.
And they're dead sexy.
Poor whiskers. Whiskers, we can't hear. Oh.
Yeah, that's the ice cream truck. You're not going. Why would you chase it?
Why not?
Because it's expensive.
I'm not gonna buy one. I don't have any money. I actually don't have any money.
You didn't even have to get a new car. You're gonna get a new car?
That might have changed.
What?
Apparently it wasn't just the fuel pump.
What was it?
Hello.
Injectors.
Oh.
At least 2 of them.
I think Whiskers live.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Whiskers.
Sorry about that. My computer's bad. I'll just blame it instead of me. So, I had a question about I really wanted to discuss the Ubuntu Edge, as I think I've got a slightly different view on it. And
sure, go for it.
I was thinking about how Canonical, I think that's their name, is a non-profit organization. And
Okay.
I was considering how much that could affect the quality of the phone you could buy, because I was looking lately at how much it costs Samsung to make a Galaxy S4 compared to the retail price. And I was thinking that if Ubuntu was to, perhaps after Edge, launch a phone for possibly the same price, they could spend all of that money on making the phone hardware itself.
That's where I was. I guess I didn't bring up the fact that they're non-profit, which is a huge point, but that's what I was trying to talk about, is that they don't have the pressure that the other companies have.
Yeah.
They also don't have the volume that the other companies have, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to say there's a lot more to the cost of a phone than the actual bill of materials, which is probably what you
Research
were
and
looking at
development.
for the Galaxy S4, because there's R&D. Just because a company is a non-profit doesn't mean that they don't have to pay the salaries of the people who designed it and built it and marketed it and all of that stuff. So they still have to make money on every unit. They just won't make money overall as a company. But they could pay the team that brings the Edge to market a big old fat bonus. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much that'll affect it, or maybe
I
it will.
still think it'll be easier. And I do think that they will actually. I think they have a much, much better chance than someone like BlackBerry did. Because BlackBerry was releasing on their own platform. Yes, Canonical is releasing on their own platform, but they're tying in Android in a completely different way that no one else has. It's interesting.
I mean, personally, I think the first-gen device, the Edge, is probably not going to be great.
Yeah.
The ideas seem really good, but I'm not expecting the implementation or the hardware to really be fantastic. But the reason I'm excited about it is if it's successful enough and they decide to make more devices later on, it could be a fantastic alternative to Android
Yeah.
or to iOS or Windows Phone because,
That's what-
again, being non-profit, they can afford to improve the hardware to such a point that they could put it at either a lower price or the same price as other competitors like the Galaxy or the iPhone, whilst having significantly better hardware or build materials or anything.
I mean, that's another thing that I'm going to throw out there is I don't think significantly better hardware is really necessarily a thing, because there's only so much out there. There's someone using, you know, whether it's an S600. I mean, that's pretty much as fast as it gets for a phone. We run into constraints in terms of battery life before we run into constraints in terms of Samsung not being willing to spend that much on the chipset.
But they're pushing
Yeah.
a more interesting, more expensive battery life platform. They're pushing a more interesting, more expensive screen. It's not necessarily Snapdragon that we're talking about. It's the hardware of the phone in general.
Yeah, I remember they said something about a sapphire crystal screen or something.
Yeah, and people have done that, but only on like $10,000 phones, which
Yep.
no one ever hears about because they're ludicrously expensive.
Yeah, they're like super weird. Like I think Motorola Razr had like a weird jewel encrusted version at some point that was.
I'm more. There's a specific company that makes these.
And there's that. There's that company.
Yeah, I don't remember their name.
I think they're based out of the UK or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come with like all these crazy services when you buy it, and there's all this extra stuff, and it's like 10 grand. It's insane, but yeah, they have sapphire screens. Like they exist. This isn't a new thing. Just no one does it because it's expensive. So why bother bring your bill of materials that high? But as
Yeah.
Whiskers is saying, as a non-profit, maybe they can do it.
I mean, the only other use I know on a mainstream device, a mainstream mobile device of sapphire crystal is, if I recall correctly, the iPhone 5's rear camera. I think they supposedly covered the camera lens with that kind of material because it was supposed to be extremely scratch resistant and extremely durable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the second most durable natural material after diamond.
Yeah, they cut sapphire crystal with diamond.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and like Whiskers said again, I didn't back the first one. I don't necessarily think the first one's going to work, or work very well. I don't think it's going to be that great of a device necessarily, but I hope it succeeds, and I hope they release a second one, and I hope it's as good at the same scale and level that the first one is, because if it's at the same level, it should be pretty awesome.
It's really interesting the insight that a platform like Kickstarter gives us into the development of these products, because it's for a consumer. We kind of sit there and we look at this device and go, what do you mean unknown processor? What do you mean 4 gigs RAM? What does that even mean in like Q2 2014? How do I know what the competitive landscape's going to look like? This is the challenge that the engineers who design these phones, whether it's an S4 or an HTC One, go through every day.
Yeah.
So when HTC was designing and building the One, they were doing it this far out ahead, having no idea what anyone else was going to have in the market at that time. They had no idea that they were going to be going up against an S4. For all we know, the One could have been conceptualized back when the S2 was the most current thing on the market. It probably wasn't. It was probably S3. But
I still have an S2.
Not a bad phone, actually. The S2, I think, got kind of a bum rap because the S3 had so much hype.
Welcome to releasing products, basically.
Yeah.
They're building it way back and just hope no one destroys you the second they come to market.
I mean, it's a miracle that companies like AMD and NVIDIA are so close to each other in terms of performance. It really speaks to the engineering brilliance of both of them, that one of them hasn't gotten an upper hand that just destroys the other one at some point.
I feel so bad for any company that was releasing anything to do with playing videos over a network. Because Chromecast. Like, you're just dead. If you are currently in R&D for a little device that streams videos from your laptop to your TV, you're screwed.
I mean, those
You're
little
dead.
Android dongles were like a thing for a bit.
And they're all dead now.
Yeah, all dead. I think they were asking as much as $80 to $100 for them not that long ago.
And they're dead. Like, there's no way you can compete.
Many companies are designing and producing these, and Google has made them completely irrelevant in one fell swoop.
Yep, it happens. It's a thing.
People are asking for a Twitter blitz. Whiskers, did you have anything else to add?
No, I think that was it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Whiskers.
Thank you very much for letting me ask.
Oh, David brings up that Canonical is a for-profit company. It just hasn't made a profit yet.
Hmm.
So there's an article here.
I think they had to change a while back.
Back in 2008, when they were still ramping up, blah, 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 told me his company was not cash flow positive. At the time, that made sense. After all, what startup is immediately profitable? Fast forward to 2013, during a call for announcing Ubuntu for tablets, and Shuttleworth once again said his company was still not profitable. So that's right, folks. After 4 years of desktop server and cloud innovation and talk, Shuttleworth is still not actually making money from Linux. Interesting. All right.
I think they were a non-profit at some point.
Which
I'm not
non-reference
sure.
780 is best? Which one would you go for? We only have experience with reference and
Yeah.
ASUS, so far ASUS.
Yeah, it's not really fair though. The Asus one is nice.
Oh, my phone battery died. I was
So-
I was tethering all day. Yeah.
Although honestly, personally, I really like the reference one.
I'm not going to click that bit.ly link. Sorry, man. But Richland's awesome. We actually have a review that we should probably release at some point.
Still haven't really.
Yeah, it's from back when the we
Dude,
were filming
things
out of the
might have
garage.
even like changed now.
No, probably not. We did Richland versus Haswell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before
okay.
release on Haswell. So
Oh.
BIOS updates and stuff.
What cooler would you recommend for the 8350 that will keep it cool and quiet? Something good. An HD14. There.
Whoa! You just recommended an NHD14.
Yeah.
You always recommend Silver Arrows.
Yeah, Silver Arrow. Silver Arrow looks better, and they perform around the same. Mississippi police apparently want to arrest the Satanists who turn dead people gay. I'm not even going to click that link because it's already the stupidest thing that I've ever read. But okay, so apparently the A10 6800 breaks the record for the highest APU clock speed. Neat.
That's cool.
Have you ever seen the website 420yolo.com? No. Alright, this is a pretty lame Twitter blip, so I think we're going to call the stream done for the night. Thank you guys for tuning into the WAN show today, as well as the after party. And we will see you guys soon. Apparently we didn't get any gaming done today, but I don't know, maybe next week. Oh, our fight sticks are here from Razer.
So we have to game next week.
So we have to game next
Awesome.
week. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. They sent us one of their Aatroxes for unboxing and overview, and I was like, "Can you send 2 so we can like play Street Fighter on the after party?" And they're like, "I'm sure, I guess so." Yay!
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Good night.